Hello, and welcome everyone who has joined and who will be joining in next minutes. Thank you for joining today's webinar. We're really glad to see you here already for the second time for the second webinar. And today we are going to share more and talk more about our IoT device management platform. And for today's webinar, we'll have two guests. So the idea is to cover both the more technical side of things of our device management platform and to see as well the benefits from the business perspective. So to keep these two worlds connected. My name is still Anya, and I am the head of operations here at LMT IoT, and I will be as well your moderator for today's webinar. So today we are streaming in three platforms. It's LinkedIn, YouTube, and Facebook. So we expect people to join on all of those platforms. And by the end of the webinar, we as well will be having a Q&A session. So if you're joining from any of these platforms, there is this chat functionality. And it would be really great if you had your questions pasted there and we could cover them by the end of our webinar. While still we are waiting for people to join and maybe to test our chat functionality, maybe the first question I would like to ask, where are you connecting from? So if you're joining us live, so then please paste in the chat so we could get to know you. Last time we had, of course, a lot of people from our hometown here in Latvia, as well as our neighbors, and we even had some people joining from the US. So really all around the world. So I see already, of course, some people here from Latvia. And let's see, who else do we have here? Oh, as well, from our brothers from Lithuania. Hi, how are you? Okay, who else do we have here? Okay, there's someone from Spain. Hey, great to see you. I hope there is not too hot yet, because in Spain and in West Europe there's a really big heat wave. So and while we still wait, the second thing I wanted to tell is that today is actually the World Emoji Day. So it was a surprise for me too. Maybe you could as well add maybe your favorite emoji if you have such. So today we should celebrate emojis. I guess from emojis, my favorite is I was thinking about that, and then my phone says that it's the laughing face because I guess why not? So let's see if there are some emojis coming our way. Okay, I see as well that there are some people with the laughing face emoji as am I. Okay, there's some interesting emoji with the glasses and the mustache. Okay. Great. Okay, I guess we have tested that the chat functionality works, and then I guess we can get to our today's webinar, and let's see the agenda. So as I mentioned, we'll be covering both the technical side and the business side. So soon we'll meet our webinar guests, Arturs and Reinis, and have some short discussion about this device management platform. And later on, we'll get more deeper with the live demo to really see not only in words what it does, but as well what it looks like. And as I mentioned, throughout all of the webinar, you are free to ask any questions you may have or any commentaries. We'll see them by the end of this webinar and try to answer and to clarify anything that is still unclear. So I guess we are ready to introduce in more details. Those who watched the first webinar already is familiar with with Arturs, who is our head of IoT Business Unit here at LMT. And why he's joining the second webinar as well is because basically Arturs is here from the beginning and has gone through really a lot of field cases with clients and got to see the whole customer journey. So really a lot of not only theoretical experience, but as well from the field. And Reinis, as I wanted to say, he's like our guru of AWS, and then basically everything related to software. And when I'm thinking about Reinis, then two words of like reliability and scalability comes to mind, because he really came and joined us with this mindset. So giving the full confidence of that what we built here is really secure. And but basically, if we talk about the software, there's really a very powerful team standing behind, and Reinis is one of them who will get into more details of what we do here from the software side. So yeah, I guess we are ready to say hello to the guys.
Hello.
Hi, Anne. Hi, everybody.
Thank
Hi,
you for
hi.
the words, Anne.
I tried. But yeah, all true. So yeah, I guess as I mentioned, Reinis will be showing a live demonstration afterwards. But at first, maybe I wanted to give some brief introduction about what this device management platform is. So maybe Arturs, as I know from your experience, when customers and people hear device management platform, they may think it's mainly about storing device data, but maybe you could explain more what value it gives to the customers. What else is there?
I think this value comes. Thank you for it's a good question. I think the value comes in several layers again. So the first one is the close integration with our system of module, where you can really easily, I would say in a matter of hours, get data from your device to the platform, so you can see the data, monitor the device. And I think it's a really great benefit when you are developing new devices, because you are skipping the stages where you need to find some third-party platform to choose the right communication protocol, MQTT or co-op or whatever, sign up for another services to connect, to integrate everything, to just get the data and validate your business idea or develop a prototype. So, and here I think this gives you this ability to do it in really matter of hours or days, depending on how complex is your solution. And all the essential parts are in place there. And I think this is the first value side, but the second is when everything comes to the scale, because it's kind of easy, I would say, to monitor or get along with the 10, 20 devices or 100 devices. So you still can do it manually, pretty much think which device goes to which customer, manually monitor them. But as soon as we talk about thousands of devices, so you need some system behind, some system with some tool set that monitors these devices instead of you. And this is another value of this device management platform, where you can really, in an efficient way, could manage these devices and really operate a large fleet of devices. And why it's so? Because we use it also for our end products, and actually the platform was developed with the mindset of operating devices. And we went through not only the module development, but also with operation of devices. And we consider all of the aspects that are important in this domain as well. So it's like, shortly, it's really good first for the quick prototyping to really get to the business value really fast, and then you can scale it very reliably with a high security level.
Yep. And then maybe as Reinis, you present the technical side of things. As we know, we get a lot of like feedback from the clients on what to improve in the platform, and as well working with it for ourselves. So maybe from a technical perspective, what does a good device management platform need to show users? What is the value there?
I think here we can look from the two sides of that. One is from the distribution side, from the tenant, which works more closer with the clients, and they are usually the first entry point for any incidents with the client or the devices. So they should see on the platform very basic information regarding device, having the metrics if the device is live, if they have connection to the network, and thus allows us on our side also save some time, because they have the information, they can communicate much faster and provide the information to the client. And from our side, as we are managing thousands of devices around the world, and we need some more technical metrics, like for example, for the connection count, how many sessions a device is creating, and also the performance-wise. So that's quite important for us, because we want that device stays online as short time as possible. So therefore, we are keeping also the eyes on the performance side. But there could be thousands and thousands of all the metrics we can gather and create the dashboards, but usually it's quite time consuming to manage them all and look at them all the day. So that's why we are pushing towards also the alarms. Basically, when you set some of the threshold, when the system doesn't operate as you expected, you basically receive an alarm, and you can react much faster instead of just going to the dashboard and see if there is some issues that you are noticing.
Okay, yeah, Reinis already started the topic, and maybe Arturs, you can add on. So basically, you've seen a lot of customers and a lot of customer journeys, how they start and how they proceed. And at first, expectations are one thing, and when you get to the reality, the things changes. Maybe you can comment as well from your experience. What are some things that companies start to realize they need to manage more carefully after devices are already deployed and after they are in the market?
I think here is very important to understand concept that connected device is always live. It's like a live organism that you need to monitor, you need to update, you need to really check the performance and so on. It's not like you created static device without connectivity. You build it once, you deployed it, and that's it. So the connection ending there. But here it's a really never-ending job with this device, and that tools like a platform, it really helps to do it in an efficient way. Like for example, so you deployed your devices, and then you understand, okay, we need to update firmware, because in the lab, you usually are not able to test it to the full extent, the solution. And in that matter, so firmware over-the-air function is really crucial for deploying your fleet. As Reinis mentioned, some alarms on the processes and how it operates. So it's also another important thing, so that you are able to acquire log files of the device. So if it functions wrongly, so there is something wrong with the device, so you are not forced to go to the site to plug cable or connect via Bluetooth. So you can really get some log files from the device and make analysis in your office and make some actions there again. And I think that this capability is really very important for the really fleet management.
So maybe getting a bit more technical, like the next step. So I remember that when we started, we had lots of discussions and research about how to get to the right stack, both for device communication and about the platform technical stack. So maybe Reinis, you could give a brief information of what is the choice of the protocols of low power IoT devices that we have, and why did we choose them? Maybe you could comment more on that part.
Yeah, that's the funny work to do on the fresh new systems and to design everything, and that will be for the future of the years. For us, so usually I think from IoT device, this MQTT protocol is like the top choice. But for our fit, for low power IoT device, it's not that very sufficient, because you need to make the connection open, and it basically drains the battery quite fast. That's why we had to look on some much more lightweight protocols, and we aggregated data from many like the stacks, like the lightweight M2M or COP. But for us, that we wanted just to make sure that the device, this communication, this transfer protocol is very lightweight, and for us, COP over UDP protocol was the choice, and it's still right now. But the protocol, I think, is the only one thing from that, because we also want to make sure that the data that the device is sending is also as small as possible. So we need to somehow serialize the data, like in traditional web applications, the JSON is the standard for communicating between clients and the servers. Here, if we look at the JSON, it's quite big in the size of the packet. Therefore, we also look from some compression, how we can serialize this payload, just to make sure this transferred bytes from the device is also as small as possible. And we currently using protobuf. It's like there is some pros and cons for that. The good thing is that it compresses the payload very good. Maybe the downside comparing to CBOR or other protocols that we need to build a schema between client and the IoT device. But with, as Arturs mentioned, with the firmware over-the-air updates, so we are not locked with that. So in case of we need to extend the functionality of the firmware, so we can do it and then adapt also on the backend side.
And maybe what about security? Maybe you can a bit comment on that.
That's always for the new systems. The security also, I think, is the first topic to discuss, and assure that the data is encrypted. And as mentioned before, that COP plus this protobuf schema just delivers. It's just a transport layer for the communication between device and server, but the data isn't encrypted with that just alone. So therefore, we had to add some encryption on top of that. It adds some bytes to the network packet sent to the cloud, but it's I think absolutely necessary to encrypt all the data that goes through the internet. So that's also was one of our options, and then.
Okay, I guess we have already started to dig deeper into this technical side of the platform. I hope I have warmed you up, and maybe then we can proceed to the live demo. But before we start, I wanted to remind you that throughout this webinar, if you have any questions about what Reinis will be showing and telling you, just paste your questions in the chat, and we'll try to answer them afterwards. So Reinis, the floor is yours.
Okay. As Arturs mentioned, that is quite important for the clients to, in hours of work, to manage to send the data from the device to our platform. Therefore, maybe I wanted to show the basics of how can new clients and the distributors can onboard our platform and actually receive the data into our platform. As the beginning, probably we need to create new account if it's not already existing. So currently we are supporting legal person of types. I will quickly write my name, surname, and email. with some alias. And I can name just my organization, put some registration number, and I will provide my own email as a contact email. After creating a new account, I should receive a wonderful email with the credentials. We are sending the first initial password via email. Once I sign in, and I will copy the password. On the first sign-in attempt, we are forcing basically user to create new password. And once the password is changed, user is redirected to the dashboard. As this is completely new tenant, there is no assigned devices yet, but here is already some information that the distributors can gather regarding all the device fleet of how many active devices and the clients. The clients, so in our term, is the end user which bought the device and is using that. And as a first, like the step for the IoT device manufacturer, I would like to create new device type. Type basically gives some specifics regarding the upcoming IoT device I want to build. For this demo, I can create some air quality sensor. Quality sensor, I can give some beautiful name for it. And without getting much deep in the firmware, from our software on the module, we can receive the information. So the cloud, we can define track. Track basically is some unique identifier for the measurement. And as you see, we can provide several tracks to be sent from the device. Basically, each track can represent some new sensor attached to the board. As track 0, I could use temperature. And I will put a unit of that measurement. I will add also second track that we also have humidity sensor attached to the board. And yeah, with that information, we have prepared some device type that can be extended later. To get some devices into a platform, there is a button Add Device. Usually when you are receiving a device from us, you will get the label with all the information, and it will contain also a serial number. It's like unique identifier for each of the device we are manufacturing. And now I have prepared those two devices. I add webinar 1 and webinar 2. And the next step is to define the characteristics of this device. So we can select the type of what kind of what kind of device we are preparing. In this case, this is air quality device, and I basically set that this device is air quality. And I will do the same for the other device. Yeah, once the device is set, I want to also mention there is on the left-hand side firmware repository, which is very important for the firmware over-the-air updates. And here we can, during development, we can create multiple iterations of the firmware, and we can assign for which device this firmware is allocated. I will select the example firmware file for that. And so yeah, later with the new updates, we can create new versions, add also for the same device type, and add already updated firmware file. As mentioned earlier, there is also quite important page which we are looking usually is device health. This screen shows unhealthy devices, and you can also filter by the device type or select specific firmware versions, which is quite important to debug some specific functionality that was introduced in the previous versions. And in this way, we can filter out specific devices and check what could be the cause for that. And yeah, this is the screen we are looking quite often to check if all our devices are working as we are expecting. Next step, I want to also show how we can actually perform any remote action. Remote action basically provides us ability to execute any command to the device. Since we are not connecting directly to the device, so we can schedule a new job. We can select for the device type we are planning to do some actions, and here there are some predefined like restart, log request, and firmware update, but with option terminal command, basically we are able to send any dynamic command to the device and any command that is supported in the upcoming firmware version. So this basically allows to perform any action you can imagine to perform on the device side. For example, I can create new log request, which will dump all the logs from the device to the server, so we can track all the kind of information that the device itself is having. And the next step is we can select if we want to run this job for the specific device. If we know there is one specific device that's not behaving as we are expecting, so we can run for that. And yeah, once the job is created, it's scheduled. Once the device wakes up, sends us some information, it picks up this job and executes all the commands. So you can, from this platform, you can check of the failed or successfully made the jobs and all the other information. If we are looking more closer at this device profile itself, here we have some, I will try to run some script in background to send some mock data to this device, so we get more information regarding that. And yeah, once it's done, so I already know the firmware version that the device is having installed, like the latest version. Also, this is quite important that we are monitoring for the last uplink. It basically shows what was the last time device was on the network and send us some data. Since we previously configured two tracks or two measurements we are having for this device, with this mock simulator, I already sent some data to the cloud, and here the users can already see all the upcoming that data from the device. As addition on the software on the module, we have enabled also GPS functionality, so users can track this device exact location, which is also transferred to the cloud. And also quite important for IoT devices on mobile phone carrier networks is the signal strength, basically, which tells how good positioned device is towards any cellular network, and this also kind of impacts the device health and battery life for this. Therefore, this is also a quite important metric to follow us, and this also allows tenants to recommend clients to position the devices on different location. This basically shows how to manage or configure the device from the distributor side. But once the device is ready for end users, there is this option for activation, and the users can activate this device via QR code. After activation, user provides his phone number, and basically that's our path how end user or end client can assign the device to himself, and thus allows to see all the measurements from the device from either from portal or from mobile app installed on client's phone. This basically concludes the demo from one side regarding device management, but other topic I wanted also show is regarding custom integrations. As quite of many of our users want to make some custom management, retrieve some data on their platform, do some calculations there. We provide two options. One is with private API keys. User is able to provide API key, and thus programmatically he can access our API, our portal, retrieve the data, manage the device, all the kind of actions I showed you previously. Here I just want to mention that this API key acts as active logged in user. If there is plan to integrate some custom solution, custom application with manual request, we can provide all-out keys to the user where we can define user API rate limits, IP whitelisting, etc. So for each of the user, we can configure this credentials separately. And another quite popular option or the functionality the client is using from our platform is webhooks. Webhooks basically provides ability from our platform near real time send all the data to the destination, the client or the end user platform. When we create a new webhook, we can provide the endpoint full URL, and we currently support two kind of webhooks measurements. It's all the data from IoT sensors, but other is quite important also events, as usually each device monitors its own health. So device can send some events in case of errors or bad signal strength. So this is also a good option for clients to debug all the devices and aggregate all the events coming from the device. And once the webhook is created, all the devices that is assigned to the tenant, they are receiving all the information from all the devices on their own infrastructure on their own servers. Yeah, I think that would conclude my basic demo for now from our platform. We can probably go back to you and me.
Great. We're still here. Thank you for really for the demo. And one question I still wanted to ask you, as I named you the master of scalability. So basically, yeah, you showed the device management, but as we expect, the devices grow from hundreds to thousands to many thousands. So maybe you could tell more about how do we ensure that the platform scales and grows as more devices and customers are added.
Yeah, I think that's the second funny job to do after the security is done, because this also is quite important for scalability, and all the users expect that everything will work under any load, and that here maybe I also want to divide in two parts that we have learned from early days, that we have completely separated all the device communication. Therefore, they are the module that is responsible for device communication sits on completely different servers. They have their own scaling policies, etc. And therefore, if there is some unexpected load or any issues, that device connectivity is isolated from the other infrastructure we are having. And as you mentioned, we are using AWS, and this allows us basically to use all kind of new services AWS provides, and they are providing, one of them is a simple notification service and simple queue service, which is basically event distributors, and thus allows us to scale, and we are not locked to the database issues that could be on the other platform. Therefore, yeah, we have separated completely all this device communication module, and this is what actually we could be quite proud of, that, because it's not that maybe very simple. If we are looking at the standard web applications, which is using REST API, here we are managed to use cluster solution that we can scale also this co-op instance that are responsible for the device communication. And from the other side, where clients are using webhooks or integration with API keys via REST API, there the scaling is more straightforward. We can define auto scaling because we are not able to predict all the spikes, etc. So we need to somehow manage to scale our servers or instances from all the load that we are receiving from the clients. And yeah, this was quite a long topic we discovered, and then we are still evolving with that and still tracking with all the solutions that AWS provides for all the scalability and reliability.
Okay. That was a very good answer for a scalability master. So, okay, I'll give you some rest, Reinis, as you have already shown in the demo, and maybe Arturs, Reinis showed a lot of the technical stuff and how it can help device management and firmware updates and remote management and so on. But maybe you can more comment on how such kind of a device management platform can help commercially. What is the benefit it gives there?
Yeah, that's a good question. And Reinis, thanks for the presentation. It was really nice to go through again to all the steps. And I think the crucial part for commercially, the worst thing that could happen that you deploy your device and you know nothing about that. So you cannot retrieve any information there. And I think all these aspects, what Reinis mentioned about log files, about remote commands and firmware updates. So this is the really important step when you go commercially. So because as soon as you deploy your device to the customer, or most important, 100 devices or 1,000 devices, so there should be a possibility to interact with them, to improve them, to troubleshoot them, and this, I think, is the really, really important feature for the commercial operations, so that you have a close bond with these devices and you can really interact with them.
Okay, and then maybe the last before, because I see we have a number of questions as well from our chats and Q&A, but still I wanted to ask maybe as well you, Arturs, as you work more with the end customers, maybe what was the recent, you remember, platform improvement which has made like the biggest difference for users, and what comes to your mind?
Yeah, I think this health monitoring feature is really great because it detects when you have some defined conditions how the device should operate, and if there comes any misalignment with these conditions, so you receive an alert that something with this device is wrong, and this is really cool feature, I would say, especially from the customer service perspective, because you know first about that instead of waiting that customer starts to complain that the device is not working or there are some troubles with the device. So you can make some proactive actions to make the operation as smooth as possible. So I like this feature very much, and I see that it really helps for the customers to move on and provide really great customer service further.
Okay, yeah, and I guess this is the right time to tell really a thumbs up and kudos to our software and development team who has done all of that Reinis was showing, and still basically we are improving every day, and the roadmap for next functionality is still ahead. So a lot of good features coming. So yeah, but I guess we are ready for our questions from the chat. Let's see what is here. Okay, so is there a recommended minimum number of devices before using a device management platform starts to make sense? Okay.
I can jump on that one because I was mentioning already that this platform is really great even for one device. If you are building some device like I don't know, let it be air quality monitor with temperature humidity sensors. So I believe this is the fastest way how you can really get fully functional solution when you take the IoT shortcut, the module we provide that is already integrated with the device management platform, and you can really in a matter of days create really functional prototype that you can already deploy in the world. So it's a really great start even for one device for prototyping, and the most important thing that it doesn't end at the prototype level, that you can also scale, because all the scaling things also are considered there.
Yeah. So minimum number of devices is one.
One, yeah.
And as Reinis told, without maximum amount of devices, so to infinite scale.
Probably you can find some value without devices, but I doubt that. So you should have at least one.
But it's visually attractive, this platform, so you can just inspire from the stuff. Okay, so getting to the next question. So can this platform be used with products that have already been developed, or does device management need to be planned from the beginning?
So I can jump on that one if Reinis could allow me. So yeah, this platform, I think the real big value there is the integration with our hardware, because it makes this process of operation really easy and kind of standardized. And there is option to integrate like external devices, but then again, you need to go through all of these complex layers of protocols, of security of services, so that you basically, it's going to become as a third party one of the platforms. But I think the most of the value of our platform is when you use it with our hardware, and especially with our IoT shortcut, which is the module that could basically be installed in any device. So you can create any already developed device with the cellular connectivity using our module, then you're gonna get direct access to our cloud and gonna use all the functionality developed really easily and quickly. So.
Yep. Okay. Guess let's see what else we have here. Okay, so how much of the portal or mobile app can be customized for a company? So this could be a question for Reinis.
Yeah, this one I can answer. Yeah, sure. As we mentioned, that we are working with multiple clients, and each of them usually have their own needs. Therefore, from very beginning, we introduced white labeling for tenant for simple use cases like button colors, positions, translation, texts, available locales. That's all available in our platform by default. But usually it's maybe not enough, and there might be some additional requests that we can evaluate. And the things I mentioned, those come by default in our platform.
Okay, great. So let's see, do we have more questions here? Okay. So what are the main factors that determine how long it takes to integrate an existing connected product with the platform? I guess there both of you can contribute to this. So maybe Arturs, you can begin from experience.
The main factors, so you can expand this really wide, because one of the factors probably is your team, engineering expertise, and so on. So this is really crucial, I think, when you develop something. The other part is what kind of device it is and how ready it is with integrated existing connected product with the platform. So as I mentioned previously, so our platform provides value when you use it with our hardware, so which is already integrated. If you're gonna do it from scratch, it might take some time. So how long, it depends on the device, how complex is the device, how many sensors there are, what is the operational logic of the device. So really, I think this is the question that deserves answer. It depends. Yeah. But Reinis, maybe you can contribute more.
Yeah, probably there is a lot of kinds of devices, and like as I mentioned, if device is standard by using MQTT protocol, probably I wouldn't have a job here if our case would be that. But for low power IoT devices, that communication, all this COAP, UDP, DDLS, all the protocols is not that very common in the software, and this requires some more knowledge and then also some investigations for that. So I think that's also quite a factor to consider when creating low power IoT devices.
Yeah. So basically, one of the ways, the best way is to integrate our system and module in the product, and then everything will work smoothly from the start. So basically, that is the best way, I guess, for this. Okay, so let's go to the next. Okay, this is kind of what we already covered, but maybe some more comments on this. So can the platform also manage third-party devices or only devices developed with IoT shortcut? Maybe you could, Arturs, give a summary on maybe what we have already covered.
It's just like technically it's possible, so we can integrate third-party devices, but again, in that terms, you're going to lose some of the value of the platform as well, because you need to rebuild everything from scratch for a particular device. And I think the most of the value lies there, where you use both solutions. From the hardware side, you use IoT Shortcut, which has SDK, which has direct integration with the cloud, with all the features, services, connectivity, and it's like some time ago there was user native app or system native apps, which usually work better than the third-party apps, and I think this is the case. So maybe Reinis, you can add, but I would say that mostly designed to work with IoT Shortcut.
Yeah, I will also tend to agree that IoT Shortcut on our platform with that gives us more meaningful resolution for the data than just simply adding any random third-party device to our platform. So yeah, that's
Okay, let's see, do we have next? Okay, so what happens when a device goes offline for several hours or days? Is the missing data recovered later? guess this could be for Reinis' question.
Yeah. Usually we don't want to see such behavior on the devices, but no, the data isn't missing because every data has some memory. For low power IoT devices is not that very big, but still it has, and it's able to like store the data for a couple of days. But once the device like defines the network, finds all the connection to our cloud, device sends all the data that has on the memory, and if you are lucky, if that's not very big, like the amount of the hours, then it's fine. But if it's like more than several weeks, so then some data might be missing. Because even if the device doesn't have any connection or bad signal or some other factors, all the sensors are still working and aggregating the data on the IoT device.
Yeah, here I would like to add, because it also depends on the device, because the device is kind of custom built, and if you build a bit extra memory there, or you have like 10 sensors measuring every second, or you have only one sensor, so it all affects how much data you can store. But the logic is, as Reinis mentioned, that there is some storage, and depending on what volume you could store there, so you can retrieve this data.
Okay, so let's see, do we have more questions here? Okay, so what is a realistic first step for a company that already has a connected product and wants to introduce better device management? So I guess this question is about something like we covered already in the previous questions, which we answered. I guess if I may, I could give an answer as well to this, because as Arturs and Reinis mentioned, the most value for this IoT device management platform comes when you use it with our system on module, the IoT shortcut, and maybe if you see that this device management platform could be a fit for use case, then book a meeting with us, and most probably you will meet Arturs, and then we can discuss what is the situation currently on your side, what is the need, and then we can get to the part if it's possible to integrate your solution, or what value can IoT shortcut provide you. So basically, as Artur said, it depends. So I guess this it depend could be answered there. Yeah. Okay. I guess we have covered all of the questions which I saw from the chat, and I guess we could then go to the finish line of our Q&A session and our webinar. So thank you, first of all, Arturs and Reinis, for joining me today, and then giving a lot of insights on what we are working as well from the software side, and for the rest of the audience. I hope that you found this session useful and really gained a clearer insight, and if not, then it's always possible to book a meeting with us and get to know more. And basically this is our second webinar, and we are not stopping there. So we would really appreciate if you gave us our feedback. So because we make those webinars to give you more insights on what we are doing, and with your feedback we can make them more valuable to you and cover the topics basically which are most interesting to you, and have other colleagues from our team to join in these live webinars and tell more. So thank you once more, Arturs and Reinis, for your time, and everyone who was listening. So we hope to see you in our next webinars really soon. But while we work on that, still follow us on LinkedIn and other social media to see what we are up to. So thank you so much, and have a great rest of the day. Bye. And
thank you, Anja. Thank you, everybody. Bye.
Bye.